Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that your world has shattered. The dreams you nurtured, the plans you meticulously crafted, and the identity you once held, all lying in pieces. Perhaps you've been there. Perhaps you're there right now. And here's the truth. Life doesn't ask for permission to break us. It happens suddenly, mercilessly, and often when we least expect it. Adversity is a universal experience, no matter who we are, where we come from, or what we've achieved. Life has a way of presenting challenges that test us to our core. At some point, we all face moments that feel insurmountable, moments where we feel broken, defeated, and unsure of how to move forward. These experiences, as painful and disorienting as they may be, are part of what it means to be human. They remind us that life is not a smooth, uninterrupted journey, but a series of ups and downs, victories and losses, triumphs and trials. Um, when life breaks you, it can feel isolating, as though no one else could possibly understand the depth of your pain. But the truth is, you are not alone. Everyone at some point will experience heartbreak, failure, or loss. It might come in the form of a relationship that ends unexpectedly, a dream that falls apart, a career setback, or the loss of someone you love. These moments are the great equalizers of humanity. They do not discriminate based on age, wealth, or status. They come to all of us, weaving themselves into the fabric of our lives. What makes adversity so powerful is its ability to strip away the illusions we cling to. When life breaks you, it forces you to confront your vulnerabilities and insecurities. It reminds you that you are not invincible, that control is often an illusion, and that certainty is fleeting. And while these realizations may initially feel like a heavy burden, they are also an invitation. They invite you to see yourself clearly, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to discover the strength that lies within. Adversity also reveals the truth about what matters most. When life is easy and comfortable, it's tempting to focus on superficial pursuits. But when you are broken, you are brought face to face with the essence of life, the relationships, values, and passions that truly define who you are. Pain has a way of clearing out the clutter, of sharpening your focus on what is essential. It forces you to ask difficult questions. Who am I when everything I've relied on is stripped away? What do I truly value? What kind of life do I want to create moving forward? The universality of adversity is not meant to diminish the pain you feel, but to remind you that it is a shared experience. It connects us to one another in ways we might not always realize. The same struggles that bring us to our knees can also inspire empathy, understanding, and solidarity. When you realize that others have walked similar paths and found their way through, it can give you the courage to take that next step forward. But this pain will always never disappear. And frankly, if you don't overcome it, the hard work of dropping out and coming back in, adversity may break you, but it does not have to define you. It is a chapter in your story, not the whole book. And when you embrace the fact that brokenness is part of the human condition, you begin to see it not as a punishment, but as a powerful opportunity to grow, to connect, and to transform. Brokenness is a stage, not a definition. It's easy to believe that when life breaks you, that's all you'll ever be, shattered, lost, or incomplete. In those moments of despair, the pain feels permanent, as if the cracks in your life will never mend, and the person you were is forever gone. But this is a lie that brokenness tells us. The truth is that brokenness is not who you are. It is something you are experiencing. It is allowing you to reflect on who you truly are. It is something, it is a stage in the journey, not the final destination. Pain has a way of consuming us, making it difficult to see beyond the present moment. When life breaks you, it feels as though time has stopped, as though this is all there is and all there will ever be. But just as day turns to night and seasons change, so too does the stage of brokenness evolve. It is not a permanent state, but a temporary one. a point in time that will eventually give way to something new. What feels unbearable today will one day be a memory. A painful one, perhaps, but also a pivotal one. And it is in this process of moving through brokenness that transformation begins to unfold. So, if that's true for you, it surely is true for the people around you, especially those for whom, when we are broken, we often define ourselves by the pieces that have been shattered. We focus on what we've lost, what's gone wrong, and what feels irreparable. But brokenness has a strange way of offering clarity. It forces us to look at ourselves, to confront the things we might have ignored, and to recognize what truly matters. In this stage, we are given the chance to redefine ourselves, not by what we've lost, but by what we are capable of becoming. The pieces that have fallen away are not the entirety of who you are. They are merely fragments of a larger whole, and they make space for something new to emerge. Think of the process of rebuilding. When a structure is damaged, the foundation is assessed, and often the rebuilding process makes it stronger than before. Similarly, when life breaks you, it is an opportunity to rebuild, not as the person you were before, but as someone wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Brokenness is a stage where growth begins, where the seeds of strength are planted, even if you cannot see them yet. It is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter. What's important to remember is that no stage in life is permanent. Just as brokenness is not your definition, neither is it your destiny. It is a passage, a transitional space that challenges you to move forward. And while the process of healing and rebuilding may not be easy, it is possible. Each step you take out of brokenness is a step toward becoming who you are meant to be. So, when life breaks you, don't let it convince you that you are broken forever. Recognize it for what it is, a stage in the journey, not the sum total of who you are. You are more than your pain, more than your setbacks, and more than the pieces that feel shattered. You are a work in progress, and this stage, no matter how difficult, is shaping you for something greater. The power of purpose in pain is one of life's greatest mysteries. When you're in the midst of hardship, it can feel impossible to understand why it's happening or what good could possibly come from it. Pain is raw, disorienting, and often blinding. But within every moment of suffering, there lies an opportunity, an invitation to uncover a deeper meaning, a purpose that transcends the pain itself. In the past, there has always been a pull, a partial allurance. This doesn't mean that the pain is fair or deserved, but it does mean that it can serve as a catalyst for transformation if we allow it to. Pain has a way of disrupting our lives, shaking us out of comfort and routine. While this disruption feels unbearable, it often forces us to confront truths we might have avoided. It compels us to reevaluate what matters most, to question our direction, and to discover strengths we didn't know we possessed. In these moments, pain becomes more than just suffering, it becomes a teacher. It strips away the superficial and exposes the essence of who we are and what we're capable of. Often it is in the darkest moments that our purpose begins to emerge, like a flicker of light guiding us forward. Purpose gives pain meaning. Without purpose, pain feels arbitrary, cruel, and pointless. But when we begin to see pain as part of a larger story, it transforms. Think of the people throughout history who have endured unimaginable suffering and yet used it to create something extraordinary. They didn't deny their pain or pretend it didn't exist. Instead, they embraced it as a driving force, channeling it into actions that changed their lives and often the world forever. Purpose doesn't erase pain, but it redeems it. It turns suffering into a source of strength and clarity, allowing us to move forward with intention. When we are broken, it's easy to focus solely on the pain, but that pain is often pointing us towards something greater. It might be pushing us to let go of what no longer serves us or challenging us to grow in ways we wouldn't have chosen on our own. Sometimes pain forces us to confront our fears, to develop resilience, or to deepen our compassion for others. And often it is through this process that we find our purpose, not despite the pain, but because of it. Purpose also gives us the endurance to keep going. When you know why you're enduring a hardship, it becomes easier to bear. It gives you a reason to fight, to rise, and to rebuild. Even if the purpose isn't immediately clear, holding on to the belief that it exists can sustain you. Trusting that your pain has meaning allows you to keep moving forward, step by step, day by day. In pain, as difficult as it is, can be a gift. It has the power to refine us, to redirect us, and to reveal our deepest calling. When life breaks you and the pain feels overwhelming, remember this. Within that pain lies a purpose waiting to be discovered. It is not there to destroy you. It is there to shape you, to prepare you for what comes next. The pain you feel today might be the very thing that leads you to the life you were always meant to live. Resilience is one of the most powerful responses to life's inevitable challenges, but it's often misunderstood. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It's about learning how to endure, adapt, and emerge stronger in the face of adversity. It is the capacity to bend without breaking, to stumble without surrendering, and to rise again when life knocks you down. And when life breaks you, resilience is the bridge between brokenness and rebuilding. It doesn't mean that the journey will be easy, but it assures you that it's possible. Um, Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something that is cultivated over time. It grows in response to challenges, much like a muscle strengthens through repeated use. The trials that test you, the struggles that stretch you, and the pain that breaks you are all part of the process of building resilience. Each time you confront a difficulty and choose to move forward, you are expanding your capacity to endure and thrive. So, resilience is forged in the fire of hardship, and though the process may be uncomfortable, the outcome is a strength that cannot be taken away. One of the most important aspects of resilience is perspective. When life breaks you, it's easy to become consumed by the immediate pain and lose sight of the bigger picture. Resilience requires you to step back and see adversity not as an insurmountable wall, but as a challenge that can be faced, a problem that can be solved, or a storm that can be weathered. It's about recognizing that no situation is permanent and that every difficulty, no matter how overwhelming it feels in the moment, is part of a larger journey. Resilience is the belief that this stage of brokenness is not the end of your story. Resilience is also about choice. You may not be able to control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. When life breaks you, you have a choice: to let the pain define you or to use it as a stepping stone to grow. Resilience is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about allowing yourself to feel the hurt, acknowledging the difficulty, and then deciding to move forward despite it. It's about refusing to let the pain have the final say.
Another key element of resilience is the ability to find meaning in hardship. Resilient people understand that every experience, no matter how painful, holds lessons that can help them grow. They don't waste time asking, "Why me?" Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me better?" This shift in mindset transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and allows resilience to flourish. Resilience is not about avoiding being broken. It's about learning how to rebuild. It's about transforming your pain into power and your setbacks into strength. When life breaks you, resilience is the force that allows you to rise again, not as the same person you were before, but as someone stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing whatever comes next. It's a reminder that while life's challenges may shape you, they do not have to define you. Resilience is the foundation upon which you rebuild, and it is the key to overcoming even the darkest moments. The analogy of the seed is a powerful metaphor for understanding the necessity of breaking in the process of growth. A seed when it is whole and untouched, may seem perfect on the surface, but it holds no potential to fulfill its purpose unless it is broken. For a seed to grow into a plant, it must first be buried in the soil and undergo a process of breaking apart. This breaking is not the end of the seed, but the beginning of its transformation. In much the same way, when life breaks you, it is not an ending, it is the start of something new, something extraordinary waiting to emerge from within you. The breaking of the seed is an essential part of its growth. If the seed remained intact, it would never release the life that is hidden inside it. The protective shell around the seed, though it seems strong and necessary, must give way for the sprout to push through. Similarly, in life, the moments that feel like they are breaking us are often the moments that are breaking us open, allowing new potential, new strength, and new purpose to emerge. Without this breaking, we remain dormant, untouched by the possibilities that life has in store for us. Growth requires conditions that may initially feel uncomfortable or even unbearable. A seed is planted in the dark, surrounded by soil, and must push its way upward toward the light. In the same way, life's trials and struggles often place us in uncomfortable, even dark situations. These moments of brokenness may feel like an end, but they are fertile ground for growth. Just as the seed cannot see the sunlight when it is buried, you may not immediately see the purpose or the potential in your pain. But with time, effort, and resilience, you begin to rise, just as the seed does, pushing through the darkness toward the light. The breaking process also removes what is no longer needed. For a seed to grow, it sheds its outer shell, leaving behind the parts that serve their purpose but are no longer necessary for the next stage of its journey. Similarly, when life breaks you, it often strips away things that may have been holding you back. Old habits, limiting beliefs, or situations that no longer serve your growth. While this shedding can feel painful, it is essential for transformation. What remains is the core of who you are, ready to take root and grow into something stronger and more beautiful. This process of breaking and growing is a universal truth. Every person who has achieved great things, overcome challenges, or transformed their life has experienced their own breaking point. It is in these moments that we discover our resilience, our strength, and our capacity to grow. The breaking is not a punishment. It is a preparation. It is life's way of clearing the path for something greater. When life breaks you, remember the seed. What feels like destruction is often the beginning of creation. The pain of breaking is temporary, but the growth that comes from it can last a lifetime. Trust the process, even when you cannot see the results. The breaking is not the end. It is the beginning of your transformation into something more than you ever imagined. Brokenness is not the end, it is the beginning. When life breaks you, it can feel as though everything is over, as though the pieces of your life that have fallen apart can never be put back together. The pain of loss, failure, or disappointment is overwhelming, and it's easy to believe that there's no way forward. But the truth is, brokenness is not a final destination. It is the starting point of a new journey, one where you have the opportunity to rebuild, redefine, and rediscover yourself. What lies beyond the breaking is entirely up to you. In every moment of brokenness, there is a choice to be made. You can choose to let the weight of the experience bury you, or you can decide to use it as the foundation for a new beginning. The pieces of your life that feel shattered are not worthless. They are raw materials that can be reshaped into something stronger and more meaningful. While it's natural to grieve what has been lost, it's also essential to recognize that what feels like an end may in fact be the beginning of something greater than you could have imagined. Brokenness often serves as a wake-up call. It disrupts the status quo and forces us to confront parts of our lives that we may have ignored or taken for granted. It creates a moment of pause, a space where we can reflect on where we've been and where we want to go. In this sense, brokenness can be a gift, a painful one, but a gift nonetheless. It gives you the chance to reassess your priorities, realign with your values, and set a new course for the future. The process of rebuilding after brokenness is not easy, but it is transformative. It requires courage to face the pain, resilience to rise again, and creativity to envision a new path forward. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward reclaiming your life. Along the way, you'll discover strengths you didn't know you had, and you'll find that the scars of your brokenness become symbols of your survival and growth. They are reminders that while you were knocked down, you didn't stay there, you chose to rise. Brokenness also has a way of deepening your connection to others. When you embrace your vulnerability and share your journey, you allow others to see the humanity in you, and in doing so, you inspire them to confront their own struggles. Brokenness reminds us that we are not alone, that everyone has their own battles, and that we can draw strength from one another. The courage you show in rising from brokenness can be a beacon of hope for those who are still in the depths of their own pain. Brokenness is not about what you've lost, it's about what you can create from the experience. It is an opportunity to rebuild your life on a stronger, more authentic foundation. The cracks in your story are not flaws. They are openings through which light and growth can enter. When life breaks you, it's not the end of your journey, it's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you get to choose how the story unfolds. You are not defined by what broke you, you're defined by how you rise. In life, we all face moments of brokenness, moments when everything we know seems to fall apart, and we are left questioning our strength, our purpose, and our path forward. But brokenness is not the end of the story. It is an invitation to grow, to transform, and to rise stronger than before. Adversity, though painful, is universal, and it connects us to one another in profound ways. It strips away illusions, challenges our perspectives, and pushes us to confront the depths of our potential. When life breaks you, it is not a punishment, but a process. It is a stage in the journey, not the destination. It is a reminder that pain has the power to refine us, resilience allows us to rebuild, and purpose gives meaning to our struggles. Like a seed that must break open to grow, we are not diminished by being broken. We are given the opportunity to become something greater. Every crack, every scar, and every moment of hardship can become a part of a story that inspires others and empowers us to keep moving forward. Let this be your reminder that no matter how dark or difficult the moment may feel, there is always a way through. The pain you feel today is not the end, it is the foundation of your transformation. You are stronger than you think, and the story of your resilience and growth is still being written. What defines you is not the breaking, but how you rise, rebuild, and thrive beyond it. Embrace the process, trust in the journey, and remember, brokenness is not the final word. It is the beginning of something new, something beautiful, and something uniquely yours. Rise, not just as who you were before, but as someone stronger, wiser, and ready to embrace the limitless possibilities of what comes next. Embrace the possibilities of what comes next. Embrace the process of who you are meant to be.